She refused to get vaccinated, so I refused to let her meet my daughter. The phone call I'd been dreading finally came when I was 7 months pregnant. My mother's voice carried that familiar tone of forced cheerfulness that meant she was about to say something I wouldn't like. "Sarah, honey, I've been thinking about when little Emma arrives," she began, and I could already feel my stomach tightening. "I want to be there the moment she's born. I've been taking my elderberry supplements and vitamin D religiously, so I'll be perfectly healthy to hold her." I closed my eyes, trying to find the right words. As a pediatric critical care nurse, I'd spent countless nights watching tiny babies fight for their lives because someone's minor cold had turned into RSV or whooping cough. I'd held too many mothers while they sobbed over ventilators keeping their infants alive. "Mom, about that. I need you to get your flu shot before you meet Emma, and your Tdap booster. It's really important for protecting newborns." The silence stretched so long I thought the call had dropped. Then came the laugh, that dismissive chuckle I remembered from childhood, whenever I'd suggested something that contradicted their beliefs. "Oh, sweetheart, you know I don't do vaccines. I've been taking my supplements for 20 years and I never get sick. That toxic stuff they put in those shots would only make me sick, and then I'd be a real danger to the baby." My hands started shaking, pregnancy hormones mixing with professional frustration and childhood trauma. "Mom, it's not about how you feel. You can be completely asymptomatic and still transmit viruses that could kill Emma. I see it happen all the time at work." "Facebook medicine," she scoffed. "That's all that is. Big pharma propaganda. My natural immunity is stronger than anything they can inject into me." The irony wasn't lost on me. Here was a woman calling my medical degree and years of experience Facebook medicine, while literally getting her health information from Facebook groups with names like Vaccine Truth Warriors and Essential Oils Cure Everything. I thought about my childhood, about the time I had strep throat so severe I could barely swallow, and my mother treated it with oregano oil and prayers. About missing the HPV vaccine because she was convinced it would paralyze me, despite our family doctor's gentle but persistent recommendations. About watching my father ignore what were clearly concerning symptoms because seeking medical help would mean admitting their worldview might be flawed. "Mom, I work in pediatric critical care. I've watched babies die from preventable diseases. I've seen perfectly healthy infants end up on life support because someone thought their natural immunity was enough protection." Her voice turned cold, the way it always did when her authority was questioned. "Well, I suppose you know better than the mother who raised 3 healthy children without all those chemicals. You got lucky, Mom, and I got my childhood vaccines because Dad's insurance required them for school enrollment. You didn't have a choice then." The explosion came exactly as I'd expected. How dare I question her parenting? How ungrateful I was after everything she'd done for me. How I was being manipulated by the medical industrial complex and turning against my own family. When she finally ran out of steam, I delivered the words that had been building in my chest for months. "If you won't get vaccinated, you can't meet Emma until she's older and her immune system is stronger." The silence was deafening. Then came the tears, the accusations, the emotional manipulation I'd grown up with. I was cruel. I was denying her the right to be a grandmother. Emma would grow up resenting me for keeping her family away. I was breaking her heart and destroying our relationship over nonsense. "This isn't about punishing you," I said, surprised by how steady my voice sounded. "This is about protecting my daughter. You're choosing your beliefs over her safety." "I'm choosing to trust God and nature over man-made chemicals," she shot back. "Something you used to understand before they brainwashed you in that hospital." That night, I lay in bed feeling the baby kick, my hand resting on my growing belly. The guilt was overwhelming, but so was the memory of watching a 2-week-old baby struggle to breathe because her grandfather had visited while fighting off just a little cold. My phone buzzed with text after text. My father, who rarely communicated directly, sent paragraph-long messages about how disappointed he was in me. My aunt chimed in, calling me heartless. Extended family members I barely spoke to suddenly had opinions about my parenting choices. But mixed in with the criticism were messages of support. My sister, who'd finally gotten vaccinated as an adult, wrote, "I'm proud of you for protecting Emma. I wish I'd been brave enough to stand up to them sooner." A colleague from work, "You're doing the right thing. I know it's hard, but you're being a good mother." My husband found me crying in the nursery at midnight, surrounded by half-assembled baby furniture and the weight of choosing my child's health over my parents' feelings. "They're saying I'm going to ruin Emma's relationship with her grandparents," I sobbed, "that she'll resent me for keeping family away." He knelt beside me, his hand joining mine on my belly. "You know what she'll really resent? Growing up without her mother because we prioritized hurt feelings over medical science. Sometimes being a good parent means making choices that feel terrible but are absolutely necessary. Sometimes protecting your child means disappointing the people who raised you. And sometimes love means saying no, even when everyone around you is calling you heartless for putting your baby's life above their comfort. Emma's health isn't negotiable, and neither is my job as her mother to keep her safe, even from people who should know better."